As a junior developer at a new company, I got seated next to this old coder, and we'd be talking about a problem somewhere around the desks, and he would stop the conversation. He'd say, "Let's try something." And he'd go to his computer, he'd type in make dir and type a whole bunch of stuff, move stuff around. 30 minutes later, this man has a working application. For us, it was tooling around a work problem, but a fully functioning application connected to a database. He would containerize it, push it to the cloud. And I was always amazed, and it made me think, if this guy can code up an application in 30 minutes, why doesn't he build his own app, launch it, and then get rich? That's the dream, isn't it? People have become billionaires, near trillionaires, by launching an app. And the question stuck with me. The only answer I've ever gotten for it is that coding or development and launching an application are two very different skill sets. There is truth to that, where you could have an app, and this is me now, that is growing 5% a month at best. Obviously, the problem is marketing. There is a fit, there is a need for the application. I just can't get it out to people fast enough, and I can't manage the business of it. I'm not even monetized yet myself. So there is truth to the idea that you have to be a business person to successfully launch an app, not just a good developer. That is true, and you could solve that problem by learning, by taking on a non-technical co-founder, stuff like that. Stuff that I'm going to have to look into myself. That really doesn't answer the question why more coders don't launch their own apps. The business skills to launch are, first of all, identifying a problem. As programmers, every day we are working on people's problems. Most problems in the world, almost all problems, are served in some way by coding. So we handle and see a ton of people's problems come across our desk. Any one of those we could latch onto and make our own app. That business skill is something that we, more than anybody, should have a handle on. The business skills of finding product market fit can be solved as soon as you launch a minimum viable version of your product, an MVP. You launch it as long as you keep channels of communication open. You're going to find out what the customers want more closely. So you should be able to get the product market fit. The real reason I think, and especially after working a few years in development, is that we don't have the time, or rather the concentration levels needed to actually build the app. Building an MVP with like a website, user login if that's needed, database for the user's data, basic functionality of what you're trying to solve, all of those components of an MVP are relatively easy to build compared to the full functioning app. Building an app is just a ton of work, like building a house. It's just a lot of work. And we work, let's say we work 9 to 5, 8 to 6, whatever it is, but we come home in the evening and our brains are swimming as programmers. We are exhausted, at least mentally, by the workday that we've had coding. We have to have that day job to feed our families, but at the end of every weekday at least, we have no concentration left to work on our own app. For me, during the weekend, I have, let's say, a day and a half of family yard duties. And so I get every week half of a Saturday that I can actually work on my own apps. That is not enough to create a fully functioning application that works seamlessly. It's just not. And it's not the time per se, it's mostly the concentration. We're burned out mentally with our own day jobs. The only fix I can think, and the way around this, is to Move yourself into a day job where you are working on the same type of solutions that your application will use. If your application is algorithm heavy, get into a coding job that is working on similar algorithms. That way you take what you learned every day at work and without thinking much, just apply those same solutions to the problem you're trying to fix for your own business. Once I've done that, and it took a while to get into a job where I'm actually learning something that I can apply, but once you do that, you can actually start to see your applications improve to where they're market ready. So use that. I know the grind is hard, but best of luck to you.